Thank you very much for this invitation. I'm very happy to be here and to speak a little bit about the Eden project, which is the huge team of work trying to put together the natural intelligence and the human one. The project started about 10 years ago when I was invited to create a monument for a tree, an elm tree, which was dead in the small city in the south of France. This elm was not only a very old and beautiful tree, but also a legend of the city, because it was related to some stories of princes and who fell in love and died next to this tree. Then troubadours was not far. They wrote the poetry and songs. And finally, this tree became a part of history and history of art, and it was a big monument for this city of Biscarrosse. When the tree was dead, and it was dead because of elm disease, which affects all elms in the south of Europe, the city asked me as an artist to make a monument. And of course they imagine some bronze or golden monument to commemorate this tree. But my desire was to have still an alive tree in this mineral place, which is the city. But it was not possible to replant the same tree, the same elm, because of elm disease. And instead of create some beautiful statue or something to commemorate the tree, we worked with this, my scientific team to create an elm resistant to the elm disease. And we mixed it with the old died tree and its memory of this romantic story which happened here, and we planted it, and it was a successful experience. And now this tree is still here, it is alive, and it is the best monument for the old historical tree we could imagine. So this is the process, and since we did this, we was asked from all around the world to come and to help this tree which has a problem. First was the elm forest all across Europe. Now we are working on replanting them with the new elms resistant to the elm disease. Then we was invited in Northern Europe to work on the problem of drunken forest. Drunken forest, it is not the forest who drank a lot of beer, but it is a forest in which, because of climate change, the tree doesn't have no more enough of support from the ground, and they cannot grow straight. So we work with them to help them to survive despite this difficulty. We also work on the restoring the apple tree in Kazakhstan, which is in fact the place where we can still find the original apple tree as a wild species. Recently we was invited in New Zealand to work with kauri trees, which are all affected by kauri disease, and here we even don't know the reason, so we work now with scientists and with native Maori community on the reason of this disease and the way to struggle against it. So during all these experiences, of course, it was not so efficient, and it was also a very bad footprint, ecological footprint, to constantly travel all across the world for this examination of different trees and to find solutions how to help them. So we created a system of communication with trees to be able to get their data in real time in our laboratory. The communication with tree, it is not something magic, it is not something spiritual, it is very pragmatic. We only use the way the tree communicate. So we created two ways of communication. The first one is the tree-to network, when we get the communication from the tree and we send it to network. Then we was able, for example, to speak to kauri trees. Sorry. Okay, I will not open the video. To speak to kauri trees and to bring the messages as a human world, as a human language. The second way of communication, it is tree-to-tree. By this way, we can put together in communication different trees. Of course, you will ask why we need to put the tree in communication, because we can communicate together without humans. But sometimes it can be useful when the tree we would like to communicate are far one from other. For example, we worked with Volemi pine, which is a historical tree, like very old one. It is a tree which doesn't exist anymore since 10,000 years. And few specimens was found out in Australia, in Volemi Valley, in Blue Mountains, not far from Sydney. But this tree, which was like enclosed in this very hermetic value, without any communication with external world, cannot live normally in our contemporary world, because this tree don't know anything about it. So this is the place this tree was found. So we put this tree in communication with cedars in Japanese Alps, because Volemi pine, in fact, it is ancestor of all cedars. And these cedars teach it to Volemi pine how is the world is 21st century and how the tree can survive in this world. Then we also put Volemi pine in the communication with this tree, which is Chateaubriand cedar, which was planted by René Chateaubriand when his house was just next to this place, and it looks like Chateaubriand was inspired in his writing by this tree. But now this tree is in very urban environment. It is like the building behind, it is a Cartier building, and in front we have a big avenue. It is the very center of Paris. And this tree also teaches to volume pine how can be the life in the world of 21st century when you don't have chance to be in the forest, but when you are an urban tree. So we created this intercontinental communication for trees, and we tried to use this tree intelligence, this natural intelligence, to not only preserve, but to increase the biodiversity in our planet. I have a lot of different examples because now we work with like about 25 or 30 trees, different, not trees, but different species all around the world. But I think I don't have time now to present all these cases. So please see some of them presented in the STARS exhibition in Ars Electronica. Thank you very much.